So, yeah, hi, I'm Jenny. I'm the funding advisor for the Medienboard for games, of course. That's why I'm here. So we fund innovative audiovisual content. I know it's not a nice word, but because we discussed innovation, we think everything can be innovative. That's a good thing. Yeah, what we do, just that the bullet points, let me say, because I always get asked what is the Medienboard in general doing. So I'm just we're providing money, of course, funding media things. We support educational financing things and also just events and networking things. And of course, the Games Network is a good example for what we're doing. So we providing information, and also I'm going through events in international and national ones and talk with people to come to Berlin or what they can do, and we can provide them. Let me say we have a few initiatives between Canada and Germany, so we just bring people together that they can make cool games together. And then, yeah, that's the general things we're doing. I'm working in this sector here, so it's new media. Everything what's not film is new media. And let me say, not high budget series. So not only web series, but everything what's not high-end drama series is also a new media thing. Yeah, so our new media funding, yeah, of course, games, transmedia things. So if you're a filmmaker or you're making games, but you're not really sure, okay, that's maybe not a typical game, it's more an educational thing or something in between, you can also come. So we're not only funding games like, yeah, games, so what people thinking are games, and apps for children, VR, AR, everything, new technologies, new systems. We have two funding programs, so one with the universities, and the other one is the thing I told you before. So when you wanted to make a project together with someone in Canada, we the funding house there, and we have we just funding, I think, two times in a year together projects. So mostly are VR. I think because the VR scene knows this one, but we also can fund in games. And no one just talked to me about that. That's why I mentioned it here. So if you know someone in Canada, yeah, so game funding. What's important about the game funding in general? So the most, I think the first question everyone is asking me is, okay, Jenny, the first sentences said I don't have to start the whole project. And I just started it because, I don't know, it was a university thing or whatever, and now I can't apply. That's a lie. Because it's what we mean is this one. So the first sentence is the most important. So everything you've done before you applied, you cannot count for the funding. But let me say you came to me and I sent you the link today and you signed up for the program, then you can collect everything. And everything is inside our funding. So from the day on you applied. Then we have a regional effect. I think every funding house has one, so yeah, and I know most of you know what it means, but you have to spend some of the money here, of course. I think it's mostly between 150 and 300% in our sector. In the film industry, it's getting to 500. And it doesn't mean that you have to spend every euro here, of course, or in Brandenburg. That's one for us. But let me say the money we gave you has to be in a part spending here. And we can combine it. I know that's will be the question later, and I'll talk about it later, but you can combine it with everything else, every funding things. You have to take a look if you cannot overfund. So now, let me say in this moment, it's 50%. What we do in the future is to discuss at the moment because of the government funding the German one. So we try to find out a way. Yeah, then. Oh, sorry. So all the deadlines are at our website, of course. The next one is the 2nd of July, so it's, yeah, let me say in 2 weeks. What you have to do. So in the first place, you have to write me an email or just call me and tell me something about your project. Then it's really cool when you send me a small pitch deck. Don't have to be everything, really a small one, because I have to think about the genre and everything. So I'm sitting there and just talking to you a little bit about your project, and then we meet in person. It's always really good because I think mostly of you meet me once and then we discussed everything. So about all important things you have to know, all your project things, all things that I have in mind, and we I just help you to apply at the Medienboard thing, and then I send you an online link, and then you can always ask me about more things. And I think that's one of the important things what you have to do to apply. So of course you have to send me something about your project. So what's your game about? The genre, the target audience, the gameplay, the visuals, and I think the most important thing is that you write it from the player's perspective, because I'm pitching this whole thing for you. And it's really important for all the other things that they know what the player is doing. So if I'm reading it and I'm not really sure what the game is out, let me say tomorrow, and I just want to play it, and I have no idea what kind of game it is, then it's really bad. Then your marketing concept, of course. So what will you do? How much? Who want you to address? It's really important too. What's the USP and which platforms, or what's about the competition. So it's really important that you know your market. I think that's a thing everyone has to do, but always a hard thing, and people try to discuss why they have to do it. So yeah, if you have a business model, can be really easy and really different, because you know games are not easy to put in one box, so it can be really different from each other what they're doing, but everything that says what you want to do is fine. Then first calculation, of course. You have to say something about your financing, the visuals, the company profile, the team you're working with. The second thing, I think everyone is asking if it's good or bad if it's, let me say, a newcomer team. And I'm always saying yes and no, because we have, let me say, 4 pillars. It's and one of it is fresh companies. We try to support new and young talents, of course, but we also wanted to always helping companies like, I don't know, everyone knows here. They are, let me say, a little bit like the ship on the ocean everyone knows in Berlin, and it's really it's okay, just everyone can apply. Yeah, sure, you need the financing documents of your company if you have one. If you are a stand-alone person and a hero who can do a game by himself, it's also okay, so you don't have to be a one-army company. You can apply as a freelance when you're doing everything alone. So, yeah, what's not fundable, let me say. It's sure all those things you not really do in the project, you're giving in the company. So all company things can't go inside. Everything what has to do with your game you're doing, your project, whatever, it's okay. Yeah, we need to know the regional effect before. You have to give 1% to the ELB for all the, so they're working with us together and making all the financial things with you. Yeah, and if you get funded, then you get at the beginning 45% of the whole money. And let me say in the middle, or when you reach a really huge milestone, you can call me and I'm come and playing with you and give you feedback and everything. And then you get, I give you the next 45%, and in the end, after the project, you get the rest of the money. Yeah, so you have to refund the game, that's clear. So all nationals and international things you got for the project. So if you're a company, have many projects, and not, of course, but all what's going inside the project, the game and everything is counting. Then if you get development funding, then the refunding starts when you're just doing the project, of course. It's normal, I think. Then you have to only give the money back if you earn something. So if you don't earn any money, and I hope that's not gonna happen, but if you really don't get any money out of it, then nothing happens. And the second thing is you comes first, so you have to, the other 50% is your money in the project, or money you, I don't know, lend for the bank, or you have it from a friend. And this money comes first to you, and a Medienboard is always the second. And that's magic. we are second, everything is going on. Yeah, it's always cool.
Part of the show.
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, the last thing, just why Berlin. I think you have the community here is really, really cool. Many meetups, cool events, cool collectives. We have the big network here. You have many talents here, many schools. It's just a beautiful town. It's not that as expensive as other towns in Germany. So yeah, and of course you are here and you're helping each other. I know that, and that's one of the best things I think in Berlin. It's really international. Everyone tries to help, and yeah. If you have any questions, then everything is standing here. You can just call me or write me an email or just meet me in person. I think I'm everywhere, talk and play and just trying your game. So I always try to be everywhere. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Jenny. And like if you have like one fast question, you can do that when I'm putting up the next presentation.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I mean, when now with the de minimis, that's a big question, because you're not supposed to have started with de minimis, but with Medienboard you have to supposed to at least do something beforehand. I mean, so far it was that you had to show at least a presentation or a prototype or whatever. So how does, I mean, so does that then exclude each other a bit?
So you mean
want to know? For the project skizze, we just provide a small document.
Yeah. And
we are not allowed to do. I mean, yeah, it's a bit like wobbly, but it's like we are not allowed to really work on it properly. But for Medienboard, as I remember, for our things was we have to show at least something. So and then theoretically it bites each other because you have a hard day for the production. So if we don't get a go for the de minimis, so as an example, we just got a project to de minimis, but it's just a skizze. So could you still go with the skizze to you guys in July?
Yeah, so you don't have to. So you have to apply with all the things I mentioned, but you don't have to have a prototype. You don't have to have any visuals. To be honest, you don't have to, but it's always good when you have a mood board or something. So I just try to catch up what you want to do. And the second thing is to know there are some people who are really have, let me say, have everything, because it was a student project. Of course, they have a prototype, they have many visuals and so, but it not only depends on the things you see. So I'm really looking in what the gameplay mechanics, if I just, so it can be good or it also can be bad when you have visuals and they are really like, that's why,
Just
so,
want to see if it fits with the de minimis.
No, it can. So the only important thing is just that everything you've done in the past, you cannot get funding from. So, yeah.
Just the budget we had for one prototype project 2 years ago, funding. This in your part. But at that time, there was a cap of the maximum funding per project. And that time there was also discussion to raise it. At that time it was like capped at 50,000 euro. I mean, there was of course a discussion for special projects like Berlin-Brandenburg to push it higher. But did you open up the roof a bit, or? Is
I think the maximum what one project was getting was 180,000. So we. Let me say we don't have really a maximum, but we can't give one project all the money we got. So it's not, of course, the government funding is much bigger. I think we have 3-5 million, so it's smaller, but
There was also discussion to kind of level up the amount of money for games, what film. I mean, I'm a filmmaker, what the film people get. Is that also a process, or?
So what we just doing now is just to try with the government thing. So we in the discussions for combining things, of course, that's really really cool. And then we just have to see how is everything changing because of that. And then we just asking, of course, both Berlin and Brandenburg government for more money every year. So, but I think the good thing is it's just a little bit like a wave. It was pushed now and everyone noticed this and we're working on it. So yeah, but let me say we're funding everything between 20 and 200,000. But when you want 200,000, it has to be just, that's not for the newcomers. So of course, so yeah.
So it's higher now.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
You said that you were discussing the whole thing because of the games fund. Now, currently, of course, Berlin is not notified, so this part is still under the de minimis rule. So if somebody gets 200,000, they cannot apply for the other one as long as the other one is de minimis.
Yeah.
But are you talking to Berlin to notify? If the German notification doesn't automatically apply for everybody, for every country, Berlin would have to notify themselves.
Yes.
Are you talking to the government to do that for you?
So we just talking with let me say we're talking with everyone, of course. So we just try to find out what the whole industry wants, what our region people wanted to have, and of course the game and so as a, let me say, as the umbrella for Germany. So we're working on it. The only problem is the just the minimis thing is just a small piece, and all those things need much time. But next year we have to do a new rule for our funding thing every second year. So we just try to figure out what everyone here and what we can go to just make it like a puzzle perfect together. But yeah, we're still working on it.
I was watching on your website and I found the deadline of July. Do you know already when the next one will be?
Yeah, in September.
Okay.
I think the 15th or 16th of September, but it's September, yeah, the next one. And I think then is one in November for next year. So
before next year. So
yeah. So you can apply in November, but the round will be in January. So we have 4 in the year. Yeah.
Okay.
The first year was 4, and the last years we have 3. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So
thank you very much.